Welcome to 843 TV. I'm your host, Lisa Richardson.
And I'm Will Wareham with WHHI-TV. We're coming to you today from City Hall in downtown Beaufort, and this is a City of Beaufort exclusive episode of 843 TV. Our first guest is the Mayor of Beaufort, Billy Keyserling.
And we also have Stephen Murray, City Councilman. And
our final guest is Mr. John Verity, who is the Chairman of the Redevelopment Commission here for Beaufort City Council. So stick around for more 843 TV.
Where communities come to speak.
843 TV, where Bluffton comes to speak.
Where Spring Island comes to speak.
Where Hilton Head Island comes to speak.
Where Port Royal comes to speak.
.843 TV,
where communities come to speak. Welcome to 843 TV. We're coming to you from City Hall in Beaufort, and we're joined today by Mayor Billy Keyserling, Chairman of the Beaufort's Redevelopment Commission, John Verity, and City Councilman Stephen Murray. Thanks for being here, guys.
Good morning.
Happy to be here.
So we're talking about economic development here in the City of Beaufort today. And Billy, let's start with you. Let's talk about the big picture of Beaufort's economy. Do you think the city in northern Beaufort County is turning around after the recession that we've had?
Well, the economy is turning around, and you'll see a lot more activity happening in Beaufort. You know, the recession hurt, but it certainly gave City Council and the Redevelopment Commission an opportunity to spend a couple of years doing some serious thinking and serious planning. So the good news is the economy has rebounded. We're finding that we will in the next 6 months have launched probably over $35 million in capital projects from money that has been set aside and leveraged very heavily against federal grant dollars. So downtown is always important, but downtown is not just Bay Street. Downtown is a lively downtown where people live, people work, people play, where they walk, they ride bicycles, they take their dogs to a park rather than having a big yard.
Right.
And that market is huge. The largest project is Boundary Street, which has been in the making for 9 years, almost 10 years. And it's a total redo of, my colleagues will chime in on the specifics, but a redo of Boundary Street, creating the kind of gateway entrance to a historic city that city deserves. And then we have some major infrastructure projects, sidewalks going in that we've been waiting for a long time, some drainage being cleaned up.
And burying the wires.
And yeah, that'll be, John's going to talk a little bit, I think, about Boundary Street, but burying the wires is no small task. So I think we are feeling it, and I think better than that, we're poised to use public resources for the infrastructure to try to incent the private sector to make the kinds of investments we hope they will make. John has have doors knocked on, people coming to town looking for opportunities in Beaufort, because as we all know, Beaufort's hot.
Yeah, it is.
You know, I think there's one other thing to add to that, Billy, that you're absolutely right. The downtime after the recession gave us a chance to put together a civic master plan, and the civic master plan focuses on opportunities in the city of Beaufort. It's a roadmap for places that we can go to help provide infill and to do things that will help create more people in the city and more housing and more infill, as well as the economic development side. So that was approved in the winter of 2014, and has really given us, I think, a chance to publicize all the opportunities in Beaufort, and that's paid some dividends. We have 49 houses going up at City Walk on the north end of Battery, or the south end of Battery Creek. We've got other projects that are in the works that are very helpful to the city in creating more infill and more people. So I think that's right.
100 new apartments, potential for 190 more. All is, you know, the Boundary Street plan is a 30, give or take, $1 million project. But if you look at the leverage, if you look at what it's going to enable property owners to do with a cleaner, safer, more environmentally sound environment, we anticipate over time that $30 million is going to turn over to about $150 million. So, you know, the city, people get confused when they see the civic master plan. They think the city's going to do all this.
Right.
What we're trying to do is set priorities for infrastructure that will incentivize private development along those areas.
Let me
well
ask
said.
you then, Mayor, and in that case, what are the few areas that you will focus on for geographic redevelopment?
Well, we have been focused since I've been mayor, which is 7 years, on the core downtown. There's a lot of vacant space and a lot of opportunity. And the good news is that when people build, people are coming, because the demographics of today's buyers want a smaller home, want to share a park, want a big porch so they can see their neighbors, and want to be able to walk and ride their bicycles. So those are selling as fast as they can. The challenge, of course, is some of the historically important rundown homes that, because they're historic, take some sensitivity, they're more expensive to restore, but we create an incentive to try to help that happen. But I think the big one, and the one that's going to touch the most people over the next couple of years, is going to be Boundary Street. Because people are, you don't feel it when someone's building a house on Congress Street. You are going to feel it when, as John put, that road's going to be torn up. All of the infrastructure, the power lines, the cable lines, the telephone lines, everything is going to be underground. And that's the most expensive part of that project. So people are going to feel that. They'll have 4 lanes of traffic during daylight. They'll do most of their construction in the evenings, where it will go down to 2 lanes. But some people are very confused. They say you're going to make Boundary Street 2 lanes. We're not going to make Boundary Street 2 lanes. We're going to keep Boundary Street 4 lanes. They're going to be better organized. They're going to be safer. There will be fewer curb cuts. There will be better, more walkable, safe walkability. And there'll be interconnection over time between the properties. So to go from one store to another, you don't have to necessarily get out on Boundary Street, which is going to allow the traffic to move more smoothly and more safely.
Safer for the
And I think as council, downtown gets probably the most publicity of any of the areas, because we focus a lot there, but we're also doing projects all over the city. So for instance, Cross Creek Shopping Center, we have a major stormwater project that's going out there. We recently secured the funding for Southside Boulevard sidewalks to replace those, and Southside Park has got some great things happening. Pigeon Point and Pigeon Point Park, some great things. And then very exciting to add to what the mayor said, if you drive through the historic district and see some of our old gyms that are coming back online, either dilapidated or abandoned structures, it's pretty exciting to see the activity that's happening in that
We could
corridor.
always use more. So
Absolutely.
anybody out there who wants to develop a piece of property, create rental housing, second homes, we invite you to come
Call
to
us.
Beaufort, because we're the happiest seaside city in the country.
That's right. Now we got to take a quick break for a commercial. We'll come right back with more 843 TV.